Hello, welcome back to the Travel Becomes Me channel. In today's video, we're continuing with our topic, the 7 ways to fly private starting at $89. So this is part 2. But if this is your first time tuning into one of our videos, I'm Kira. I'm a lawyer and author. But most importantly, and probably the reason why you're here, is that I'm a luxury travel enthusiast and educator that's been to over 60 countries and territories using the strategies and tools that I found have been helpful in traveling luxury for less. So if you have not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of our future videos. And also feel free to share if you think the content of this video will be helpful to your friends and family. So now let's get into today's topic. So today we are continuing on to talking about the 7 ways to fly private starting at $89. If you remember from part 1 in the video, we talked about outright ownership, we talked about fractional ownership, we talked about single charter options, and then we also talked about tours. So in today's video, we're going to first start out by talking about package deals or membership plans. And so this is yet another option to fly private. And what this does is by buying through a package or through a membership, you're entitled to discounts that come from that sort of commitment. Now, these types of programs sort of vary considerably in the types of things that they offer. So they can either be an outright charter, so you have the entire plane to yourself. It can be a charter where you commit to a certain portion of the plane being full, or it could be a charter where you just buy a single seat and then the coordinator of the flight will commit to flying the flight if they get enough additional members that agree to fly along with you. So there are kind of 2 different ways to get into these membership programs. They're package deal charters, but they all typically involve some kind of minimum entry or commitment fee. And so on the low end of the spectrum, you can find memberships as little as So on the low end of the spectrum, you can find entry-level memberships as little as $2,500, or on the high end of the spectrum, you can find entry-level memberships as high as $50,000. Now, the difference between the 2 types of numbers, it depends on whether or not typically you're providing for access. So the lower end is for access to the discounts. And then the higher end, you're kind of prepaying for your flight time. So let's say with the $50,000, you could use that toward flight time that you would ultimately use on a particular plane and other fees and expenses. So that's kind of the difference in the price points. Now, the other important thing to mention about package deal charters or membership programs is that there has been some talk in recent months about potentially using travel awards points to book private jet charters. So we'll see how that evolves. I mean, in the past, when this has been an option, the entry point was pretty astronomical. So we'll see what they come up with now to see whether or not it's really truly a viable option or not. So before we leave this option for flying private, I just wanted to give you some examples of companies that provide this option. Companies that provide this option, and there's places like VistaJet or Wheels Up. So the next type of option to fly private is empty leg discounts. So if you're familiar with repositioning cruises, it's very similar to that. So in these situations, you would have a jet that was booked on full price charter that goes to a particular place in the country or the world, and it's booked one way. So the operator needs to get the plane back to another destination for which it needs to use it for, let's say, another charter. So rather than eating the cost of repositioning the jet back to that particular location, what they'll do is they'll offer empty leg discounts that will allow you to use the plane um, that will empty leg discounts that will allow you to use the plane for a deeply discounted price so that the operator can recoup at least the cost of returning the plane back to the destination where it needs it next. And so typically empty leg discounts run like 50 to 75% off. The cons of using empty leg discount is typically they're super last minute. They're often one way, and so you would have to figure out how you're getting to the next step of your destination. But if you can find one, you are saving a substantial amount off of what would have been the price for a full price charter. And examples of companies that use this are JetSmarter and Victor. And examples of companies who offer this are JetSmarter and Victor. So the last but not least option, unless you're talking about pricing, is single seat purchase. And these are the ones that are the last but not least option, unless you're talking about pricing, is single seat purchase. And this is the particular option that is mentioned in the title of this video series, starting at $89. And so this is probably the option that's most similar to booking a flight on a commercial jet. And so these providers provide you the opportunity to purchase a seat on a private plane flying out of a private airport, and you'll share the plane with others who are doing the same. And so you will have other people on the plane, which is the case with membership programs occasionally. But it does not require you to be part of a membership program. You can buy a single seat and you can have kind of a private experience or semi-private experience with other people on the plane. Examples of companies who offer this service are JSX and Blade. So that's it. Those are the 7 options for flying private. You can do outright ownership. You can do fractional ownership. You can do a single charter, single flight charter. You can book a tour that has a private jet experience included with it. You can do a package deal charter or a membership program. You can do empty leg discounts, or you can just purchase a single seat on a private jet. So those are the options. So I want to know down in the comments, have you tried any of these options before? Have you flown private? Also, if you're interested in hearing a little bit more about strategies for flying private, let me know down in the comments below. And we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.